Hey agent, can you please remind me to call my mom tomorrow at 3 p.m.?
I've created a new task in your Toto list. You'll receive a reminder for this task on May 23rd, 2025 at 15 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds.
Hey agent, what are my tasks for tomorrow?
You have a task for tomorrow at 3 p.m. to call your mom.
Can you please remind me to buy milk tomorrow at 6 a.m.?
I've added a new task to your Toto list. The task is buy milk scheduled for May 23rd, 2025 at 6 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds.
There is a task to call mom tomorrow at 3 p.m. Can you please mark it done as I've already called my mom?
I have marked the task, call mom, as completed in your Toto list.
There is a task to buy milk scheduled for tomorrow at 6 a.m. Can you reschedule that task to 7 a.m. instead?
The task has been successfully rescheduled to 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Hey YouTube, I hope you saw how our voice control to-do agent allows us to manage our tasks. Now I want to walk you through this sequence diagram that shows how our voice control to-do agent works under the hood. This is pretty technical stuff, but I'll break it down step by step. First of all, the sequence diagram seems pretty boring. Let me add more pictorial view for you so that you will be able to relate. Let's dive in. The architecture needs five main entities. The speaker speaking into the mic, that's hopefully you. The Next.js frontend for the user interface. Fast API backend for transcribing the audio data to text data. Olama to run the tool calling LLM. This can be replaced by OpenAI or maybe Anthropic's Cloud, and SQLite as the database. So it all starts with you saying something like, please remind me to buy milk tomorrow at 10 a.m. This voice command hits our Next.js frontend first. Next.js is handling all of our user interface elements and capturing the raw audio data. Once the frontend has your voice input, it immediately forwards the data packet to our Python backend. As I illustrated it earlier, I am using Python backend to transcribe the audio input because it's excellent for processing this kind of data and has great libraries for speech recognition and speech transcription. The Python backend then works its magic on that voice data, running it through transcription algorithms to convert your spoken words into text. The text version of your command gets sent back to the Next.js frontend. And now here's where it gets interesting. The frontend takes the transcribed text and sends it to Olama. Olama is running a specialized large language model that's been configured for tool calling. This isn't just any LLM. It's specifically optimized to translate natural language into database operations. The LLM that I am using in this case is Qwen 2.5 Coder 7 billion parameters. The tool calling LLM in Olama processes your request and generates the appropriate SQL query. It's essentially acting as an interpreter between human language and database language. Once it has constructed a valid SQL query, Olama doesn't just hand back the query, it actually executes it directly against our SQLite database. The SQLite database processes the SQL query, fetches the relevant data, and then once the query is executed and appropriate operations are done in the database, it notifies the Next.js regarding the successful operation. After the successful operation, we revalidate the path so that the Next.js re-renders the server component to show you the data. And it also announces what it did in this whole process in a very simple term. And voila, what started as a voice command has been transformed into meaningful data right before your eyes. What's really powerful about this architecture is how it abstracts away all the complexity. You don't need to know SQL or database structure. You just speak naturally, and the tool calling LLM handles the technical translation work. From a technical perspective, we've got clear separation of concerns here. The frontend handles user interactions, the backend processes voice data, the LLM handles natural language understanding and SQL generation, and the database focuses purely on data retrieval. This is actually the future of human-computer interaction as per Satya Nadella, and where technical barriers are removed and you can interact with complex systems using natural conversation, and all the business logic is handled by LLM. Okay, now let's try to break this app. I mean, like, let's try to debug this app. I'll try speaking from the mic and I'll show you how everything happens inside the app. For that, let's go to our page.tsx. Let's create the microphone waveform and we can go to on start recording. Right. So whenever there is recording file, it will send the file to server. So let's start debug from here. So I will set a breakpoint over here. So whenever the app runs, it will stop over here. Whenever we send the audio, let's try to debug it. Hi, how is everything? So it's here now. The red dot has disappeared and the program has reached here. So if I try to step over, then I can go to next line and try to fetch it to the API underscore slash transcribe API. If I go over there, then it called the API. You can see it over in the terminal below, and it has also sent the response. So currently the response is streamable. So let's convert that response to JSON and extract text from the JSON. So the text says, "Hi, how is everything?" Right? Okay. Now the text is transcribed and it will be processed. So if I go over here and I have to like break it over here also, break the app also over here also. So let's do a step over that. Okay, it has come over, the cursor has come over to this line. It will create a user message. Yeah, you can see human message, and then it has appended whatever we have sent the mic to the arguments. You can see it over here. How's it connect? Hi, how is everything? So it will then try to send the message. Okay, now let's split the window and go to messages function. Okay, let's try to set breakpoint over here, and once it does that, okay, it didn't set the breakpoint over here, so the program actually ran. It got the response from the LLM directly. I'm sorry for that. So what did the LLM reply? It replied that everything is good. I'm ready to help you with your to-do list. What would you like to do? So now once that is done, it will then push this message to the list. So to store it, and it will play the text from the browser. If I step over from here,
Everything is good. I'm ready to help you with your total list. What would you like to do?
so I think the program is finished. Okay, that is just a simple message. So let's try to invoke uh, tool. The tool is QueryDB. So let's try to invoke it. Hi, Can you remind me to call my wife tomorrow at 5 p.m.? Okay, that is broken over here. So let's see what it transcribes. This is the response. Sorry, this is not converted to JSON. So let's convert it to JSON and get the text out of it. So the text is, I can remind me to call my wife tomorrow at 5 p.m. And if we go to process transcription, sorry, inside the process transcription, tab shall reach over here as it reached. And let's try to break it in message also. Yeah, okay, it won't break over because I think this is server. No, this is client component. Oh, what happened? Just give me a moment. Okay, this is server component, so it won't break over here. I have to try differently to break this in the server component. So we won't be able to inspect all the variable over here. So just remember that it will send LLM the message and the LLM will call the tool. Both will happen in the server side code. It will not happen in the client side code. And currently I'm debugging client side code, so it won't be we can't be able to follow it out, follow that right now. I'll try to do it next time by debugging on the server side. Now let's try to run it. Okay, let's go to the next line. It will send the message to the LLM and then LLM will invoke the tool. I think it did. So if response, then it will append the message to AI message. So let's check what the response is. It says, I have created a new task in your to-do list. The task is scheduled for tomorrow at 7 p.m. at 5 p.m. Okay, so if I go here and play the text, the browser will
I
play
have
the text.
created a new task in your Todo list. The task is scheduled for tomorrow at 1705 p.m.
So this is how the program runs. And let's see if the task is created or not. Okay, the task is created. I don't have to reload the page because we have to validate the path. This is how it works.